Hey, what up players, it's Warboss Tay up in this mud. That's right y'all, I am back. And today we're gonna finish up our Hex Wraith. And yeah, it's a very simple model to paint and to finish. I think very limited number of paints. And it still looks pretty effective. I think you get a nice good transition with the shade and some paints that transition it back up from black to blue to kind of ghostly green. You can really see it there on the back of the blanket there. And yeah, we just highlight the bone back up a little bit. We play with the flames. We add a little bit of highlight to the flames, and that is about it to make this Hex Wraith look simple yet very effective on the battlefield. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoy it, and thanks for checking out my channel. Hello everybody. It's me, your friendly neighborhood eagle. As you may have noticed, times have been hard at Warboss Tay Studios lately. The master has found himself a beautiful, wonderful new lady friend, and he has been spending all his time with her. And that has left little time for gaming, and that means that there's been nobody to feed us. I haven't eaten in weeks. Poor Lewis back there starved to death, and now he's just a rotting husk of an old man corpse. And now I've finally eaten the last of the master's cats, and there's nothing left for me to sustain myself. So, unfortunately, this looks like the end for Igor. Goodbye, cruel world. Rosebud. What up players, it's Warboss Tay back up in this mud, and I thought that today... Invocation of the Hex... What happened? Master? Master? Did somebody cast Invocation of the Heck? Yeah, I did. Hey guys. Master! The Master's back! The Master's back! Hooray! Hooray! The Master is back! Alright, you mokes. Back to work. Yes, sir! That's right, players. I am back. I am back. I am back. I am back. What are we doing? This guy. Hey-oh! So, whew, how have you all been? Boy, what day is it? Man, I tell you. Okay, alright, where were we? So, we're painting up our little Hex Wraith, and we're going to start by layering back up with a little bit of Sotek green. Now I think, if my memory serves me correctly, that the last time we touched this guy we gave him a nice Beda black wash. So all we're doing is we're bringing up the original color. Oh boy. It's been so long. Since I paint, what is this? Alright, well, I'm just gonna paint over that. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to create a very ghostly color on our Hex Wraiths, on the horse's robes. So we're gonna do that by rebuilding this green. I'm so happy the master's back. Igor, shh. Sorry. We're gonna build up this green, and then or this kind of turquoisey color. If you have the old Hawk turquoise, then that works just as well. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to build it up with even more, an even brighter green, which is gonna be Cabalite green in just a little while. Boy, it's been so long since I've sat at this desk. My lighting, everything is, I don't remember it. I don't remember how I did everything. So, yeah. School has started back up, which means that my daytimes have been super crazy busy, and also a part of myself that I don't really like to talk about is that I'm into the local theater scene here in Hawaii, and I want to let you guys know because this is, oh, it's my lady friend. This is probably going to keep me busy the next couple of weeks. So unfortunately, it looks like the updates aren't going to be as, you know, frequent as I would like. But I'm about to open a show that I'm in here in Hawaii called Young Frankenstein, which is based off the old Gene Wilder movie. Cabalite green. So that's coming up. School is in session. Got a super hot lady friend that takes up all my time. That I, you know, not complaining about that, but yeah, the hobby has just been taking a back seat, unfortunately. But don't worry, I'm back. I'm back, and I'm gonna post as much as I can. So look how the Cabalite green really blends nicely in with the Sotek green. I think it's a beautiful complementary color. You can't even really see it, so I'm gonna lay it on pretty heavily on the folds, just because it gives a very eerie green tone to the turquoise. But boy, do I miss, now that I'm back into it, oh, I miss painting. I missed you guys. Alright, so there we go. So it's got a weird relationship. The color, you want it to be a subtle mixture of the blue and the green. The green you want to really accentuate on the folds, but other than that, like, so for example, like here, the folds in this robe here, and here, and in the sleeves. Because we're about to go even one step further and paint up. Just a second. So there. So the last step up we're gonna go is we're gonna take Warpstone Glow. This is gonna be the highest point we're gonna go up. And this is really gonna be just not on the flat pieces of the cloth, but really on the big folds. And on the edges. The thing that I've learned throughout the years is that yeah, the eye gets really attracted to edges and folds, creases, I guess, in the cloth. So you want to avoid as much as possible putting your highlight color on the flat areas. I think I actually might even go up one more color step than this, because believe it or not. I'm kind of looking at the box art, and it's looks like the greens go up one more step than this. You see how you've got this constant shifting surface of blue, green, spooky green. It's the effect that we want. You want to keep them, you don't want to cover that blue too much though, because otherwise the green of the flames becomes a little too redundant. Doesn't look as good. But boy, does that to me a green, that to me a clear green looks really good. So we're just touching up the sides of the robe. Touch up, touch up, touch up. Here. So now, what I'm gonna do is, okay, we're gonna see about making the greens on the flames a little bit brighter. So we're gonna take moot green and we're gonna start highlighting up the flames. So let's actually get a good focus. There we go. So moot green is a very bright color, and when you just use it as a highlight color for the flames, just drag it along the raised areas, then all the other parts of that to me a clear green kind of stay consistent and stay there, and you get a good highlight, but you also get the good shade from the Tamiya. And this brush, I should not be using this brush, it's horrible. Okay, I'm gonna switch brushes. Alright, so we're continuing to use our moot green. This kind of also looks to me like the old scorpion green, just a little bit. It's like a mix between the old scorpion green and the old goblin green. It's not as yellowy as the old scorpion green one. The old scorpion green was had a really yellow tone to it. Yeah, so as you can see, you just do that Tamiya green first, and then you put moot green over it, and you get a really, really nice result. For beginning painters, or for painters who just want simple, easy, like only a couple of steps to paint the flames on your undead, this is a really great way to go. Tamiya green, and then moot green right over. If you want to glaze it after with a little bit of Way Watcher green, or the Games Workshop glaze that they come out with, you could do that too. But like, just look at how nicely the color kind of picks up. There's that. Flames. Now what we're going to do is we're going to paint the bone of the horse. We're going to start to highlight that back up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint with Where are all my paints? It's been so long. I don't know where anything is anymore. Igor? Yes, master? Could you get me a Recart flesh, please? Why, of course, master. I thought I just saw one here just a minute ago. You must forgive me, master. It has been a very, very long time. Here you are, master. Thank you, Igor. Oh my gosh. All of these paints are dried out. That's it. I'm gonna use Vallejo from now on. Alright. So, get a good angle on our guy. Ta-da! Are horses' hooves supposed to be a different color? I always thought horses' hooves were like a dark brown or black. Totally different from their I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know much about horses. All I know about horses is that they taste good. Cooked over a Chiave stove with hollandaise sauce and cranberries. Thank you, Igor. You're welcome, master. So because I'm a completionist, I like to paint every single bone on the model, but if you want, you could really just go over this with a dry brush and get a very comparable result that you could be very pleased with. So let me show you what I mean in just a second. I'm actually kind of even doing it right now. I'll do it with the next highlight color. Okay, so almost done with our Recart flesh on the bone. This is Agrax Earthshade, was it not? I don't remember. Oops! Yeah, these Hex Wraiths, deceptively simple like the flame effects and just the bright, or not bright, but the colors on them makes you think that you need to have, you know, a lot better skill and technique than you really do. So don't be afraid of them. Just get yourself a little bit of Tamiya clear green and you should be good. Okay, so there's one more small little highlight to go over, and this one will do, or not highlight, but a small little, yeah, I guess you would say highlight color to do, and this one we're going to do with the dry brush, and that is the color Ushati Bone, which I guess is like the new bleached bone. So you want to take a brush that you use for highlights, or for dry brushing, I mean, and you want it to be too big, so at the same time you want to make sure that its bristles are like spread out enough. So I use this like kind of dumpy old brush. Get a good amount of paint onto the brush and then wipe it off on the brim. And you wipe most of it off on a Kleenex or a napkin. Napkin, I mean, not Kleenex. Then wipe it off on your hand until you don't see much paint coming off. Sorry about that. So, like about there. Then, what you do is you just drag the brush over the model. Dry brushing 101 for all you beginners. The trick is you wipe off most of the paint so that there really isn't that much that goes on the model. If you've got a lot of paint on the brush when it goes on the model, then it's going to look really sloppy and wet, and it's just going to make a really big mess. Or even worse, you're going to keep brushing it over the model because you don't see any effect, and then it's going to end up dusting the entire area around it. So like with the skull, if I was like, oh man, I don't see any result, I'm just going to keep brushing really hard, the paint could get all over the robe and the hood, and that's not what we want. So feel free to experiment. You can always go back to the pot if you want more, but just try to remember that you want to wipe off the majority, like 95% of the paint off of your brush before applying it to the model if you dry brush like this, just because it's so easy to mess up. And that just about does it. The last thing we're going to do is I'm going to dry brush using the same brush. If I can wipe all this bone bone color off. We're going to dry brush the metal parts of our model, and we're going to use good old Lead Belcher, our base color. So I'm going to use a different brush. So just like before, get some paint on the brush, wipe it off on a napkin, then do the palm test, make sure most of it is wiped off, then finally apply it to the model. I can see the difference because I've been painting for a long time, but if you feel like you want a little bit more of a brighter metal, if you want your metal to pop, then feel free to use a brighter metal color like Rune Fang Steel, or I like to use the old chainmail. So I might do that just to get a brighter color. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll finish off the video when we get back. Alright, and there you have it, players. Our Hex Wraith is finished and based, and it looks as close as I think I can make it to the Games Workshop standard, the Heavy Metal Studio standard. In just like, yeah, just a base coat, a wash, and some layering up for the cloth and the flames. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And maybe looking back, what I might want to do is add a highlight color to the staff just to make the brown pop a little bit more. But I think this is fine for now. I kind of like the dark of the staff contrasting with the flames, and I don't want to draw too much attention away from the cloak and the bone. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to, if you want to stay tuned, I'm going to be doing a little review of the Mordheim turf, which I'm going to add onto the base for my vampire accounts, just to see how that looks. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'm glad I'm back. I look forward to more videos when time allows. Thanks a lot, everybody. Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next video.